Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the channel. For those who have seen some of my other videos, you might notice the background looks a little different. We are not on Clear Lake today. This week we drove down to Arizona. We're actually on Lake Havasu. We came down to fish the Arizona Bass Nation kayak event down here. I think it's April 10th today. This is my first day of practice. It's Thursday. The tournament's Saturday and Sunday. It's a 2-day event. But we're gonna give it a go and see what we can do. My plan is to throw a big swim bait today, a fair amount, as well as a frog and a spinner bait, and try and find some active fish that'll feed on something, a moving bait, a power fishing type thing, since that's my strength. I know I love throwing the glide. That's how I took third last weekend in the native event on Clear Lake. So we're gonna see what happens. I got, I don't know, maybe 10 rods with me. I got a few more at the house as backups in case we need to do some different techniques. But pretty much rigged up to do some moving baits today, and we're gonna give it a go and see what we can do. The sun's just coming up behind me. We got on the water a little bit later than I thought I was gonna get up this morning, but I drove until, I don't know, I think I went to bed at midnight last night and I got up at 3:50. So didn't get out here crazy early, but should be early enough to cover a lot of water today. I got 3 batteries for the Torpedo, running the 1103, and it'll push us all over. Doing 5 miles an hour across the lake right now, and then, like I said, I'm a head up river, so I'll probably cover 15, 18 miles today and see what we can find, see if we can put a pattern together. Stick with us and we'll see what we can do. Desert bass on the minnow in 6 feet of water. It's that Z-Man jerk shad. It's a 5-inch in the bad shad color on the 1/8 ounce 3/0 finesse eyes jig head. Pretty standard for shaking a minnow. Not what we want to get stuck doing though. Chatterbait fish. Wrong caliber, but chatterbait fish. Pretty. Had that fish on the whole time. Molly. Probably a 17 and a half, maybe 18. So apparently we had a camera overheat. I'm not sure when it happened, but I think it's 100 degrees out here today, so I'm not surprised. Hopefully we got some of the footage. We're gonna call it a day. It's 4 o'clock, and the tournament, we can fish until 2. So anything I do this afternoon is not really comparable to what's gonna happen during the tournament anyway. So I'm gonna head in and put it on the trailer and head back to the house. Today, a little summary of what we did. We started off in the bowl in the main lake, caught a couple fish, shaking a minnow, had a smallmouth, largemouth, both on the minnow. I had a striper on a chatterbait, and I had another largemouth on a chatterbait, but they were all smaller fish. We left the main lake, came up into the river. We were hoping for some stained water. That really didn't happen. Pretty much crystal clear everywhere. And that is Havasu. I mean, it is what it is. I managed to get on a bite, but my bite was a big bait bite. I mean, that's really all I had was the glides. Most of my fish, I had a few fish that bumped the 7-inch trick shad, nothing really stuck. Had a few fish hammer the flag 255. I stuck one of them, came up and threw the bait on the surface. Caught several fish on a flag 170, which is the small one. That's probably going to be our go-to for the tournament, just because we can get numbers on it, which, you know, until I get 5 in the boat, all that matters is getting a limit. Once I put that flag 170 down, I picked up a resin Chad shad, so an actual KGB Chad shad, and caught several fish on it. Most of our fish today were somewhere between 17 and 18 inches. Respectable, not giants. I had the one big fish that I caught on the flag 170, probably between 5 and 6 pounds, maybe 20 and a half, 21 inches, something like that. I think it's going to take probably 93 a day to win. We'd have been pretty close to that today. I don't know if we'd have got it, but we'd have been pretty close. But anyway, thanks for coming along on day 1 of practice. See ya. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is day 1 of the Arizona Kayak Bass Nation. It's their championship tournament, but they made it an open, so we were able to fish just by paying the membership fee along with the entry. We're down here on Lake Havasu. You've probably already seen my practice, some clips from my practice. I only really got 1 day on the water. I had some electronics issues on day 2 that I took care of instead of fishing all day. But we took off out of the state park with a group of our friends for the most part, most of the guys I knew. Everybody seems to be kind of on the same pattern: bed fishing, sight fishing, fishing shallow, or either scope and shaking a minnow. A lot of guys over by Mesquite Bay. I actually found those fish too. I had planned to hit that, but I didn't want to fish in a group. So I'm gonna run up the river and see if I can throw some big baits and catch some fish, maybe try a top water. I found some fish up here in practice, really good fish, but it's gonna be a gamble. It's always a gamble when you're relying on the big bait thing. But we're gonna have some fun, sling some big baits, and hopefully do well in this tournament. Trying to qualify for the West Coast Championship. I think we need a, we need a top 10 to get into the West Coast Championship, which will be on Clear Lake, my home lake, later this summer. And only the top 10% qualify for the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship, so the top 4. So we need a really good finish for that one. Fishing against a bunch of local guys down here, so, you know, what can you say? You swing for the fences and hope for the best. But stay tuned and let's see what we can do today. There's our first fish of the day, 19 inches. That was on the Chad shad. Good way to start. Oh, that was good. Caught that fish on the trailer hook. That'd be an upgrade. $16.5. No cull, 15.5. Have a decent one this morning. If I can get him in. Good one to start the morning on. .5 inches on the drop shot. That was a 4.5-inch robo worm. Fish like that up there, you know, they could hit this fly. Just like that one. Chad shad. $16.75. Number 3 off a cage on a drop shot.